Hey there, boys, girls, and YouTubers, YouTube. So Francis and Dad. It's Francis and Dad again. So Monday is approaching, and I like to make a video about how to stay motivated on Mondays, on Sundays, and how to maintain, how to make your motivation burn so brightly that everyone around you is gonna feel it, and you will no longer live in the confines of societal stigmas and stereotypes, and you will also no longer live in the confines of your own fear and disbelief. So I've often, you know, I often used to do some work on Sundays just to get myself more prepared, more primed for the coming, for the coming Monday, in order to maximize my productivity. But until now, I have found that it doesn't work so well as anticipated, because it is most likely the wrong way to adopt, since not just your corporeal body, but also your brain, your mind, your spirit, your soul will need some time to unwind and relax. So working overtime on Sundays will only make things worse if you continue to do so. And but instead, I urge you to pick up your phone, or if you feel like saving some credit for your prepaid mobile phone SIM card, just use Facebook voice calls or WhatsApp or WeChat, whichever app you prefer. And sometimes it can depend on the regions, on the on the regions you are currently dwelling in, or the languages you speak as your mother tongue. But still nevertheless, it's nevertheless, you need you need to make the best of Sundays and Saturdays. I'm not asking you to attain some sort of equilibrium or balance you can find between work and play, but instead I am trying to help you how to stay motivated, to stay energized, and not so that you won't get knocked down by challenges, by setbacks, because we pretty much each and every one of us will have to meet setbacks at some point of our lives, and it is pretty much inevitable. Even for those who currently rule the world, rule the systems, they too meet setbacks, and they too will experience distress, disbelief, doubts, skepticism, etc. So it is inevitable, and it grants us, we will gather a multitude amount of wisdom and intelligence by learning from our past failures, and never fear failures, never dread of making mistakes, because if you don't make mistakes, it does not. Then you cannot you cannot find the purpose. You cannot find the driving force for you to move forward, because you certainly want to excel at something, and if you do not, if you do not choose to be the first, then you will become the last, according to Uncle Grant Cardone. And while you do work, while you attempt your projects, I also highly recommend that in the meantime you listen to Uncle Grant Cardone's audiobooks, 10x Rules, and Sell or Be Sold, and if you are not the first, you will be the last. Those book series, and always use make the best use of the freedom you currently have on hand. If you happen to have stayed single like me, or probably also in the meantime in cell, because you might lose your freedom very soon, before you even know it. You might lose your freedom so soon, so abruptly, so all of a sudden, that it will knock you down so hard that you will almost forget how to get back on your feet. And I have experienced all of that, all of those setbacks, like getting kicked out from uni, and somehow feeling rejected, defeated, and deserted by friends, by my fellow Hillsong brothers and sisters, whom I once called brothers and sisters, or very close friends. It really did a number against my morale to push forward, to move on with my life. And then somehow it triggered the deterioration of my stuttering, of my anxiety, and it ultimately and eventually becomes a vicious cycle, and usually takes a great deal of effort to overcome. And so do not let that anxiety, that stress and strain and fear pile up so much that you get yourself paralyzed by it. Once you allow such fear, such anxiety to pile up, to accumulate, you will lose your focus, and so thereby you lose the motivation to move forward. So sometimes it's best to take the quick kill approach, to tackle things, to tackle projects that usually takes a great deal of effort, and probably also willpower, or let's say intelligence to finish up. And do not stay up that late, since you need to get yourself a decent hibernation to recharge, to recondition your mind and spirit. So my recommendation for those who tend to stay up until very late, say 2 a.m., 3 a.m. My recommendation is that first of all you try to get yourself to bed. No later than, let's say, 1 a.m. Let's do that incrementally. Take the baby step to increase the quality and duration, or the quality and the duration of your twisted sleep patterns. And since your body, your brain, your spirit they are gonna need some time, some buffering time to adapt to, and they do not usually respond and adapt to abrupt changes that well. Biologically and physiologically speaking, so yeah, always always be the person who knows exactly how to self-motivate, and you can also try to visualize a scenario where you yourself, or the character, or the main protagonist of a particular video game, and you overcome all the challenges, all the hardships, along with several teammates of yours, because the challenges you faced seemed quite impossible for ordinary people to overcome. Yet still, you managed to defeat it. You managed to beat it. How much glory? Just try to imagine how much glory, how much reward you will receive afterwards. How much praise, glory, and rewards you will receive afterwards will become the ultimate driving force. The fuel, the fire, to fuel to fuel a massive amount and levels of actions you are about to take. And yes, whenever you try something new, commit first. Figure out the concrete and detailed plans later, after you receive some outcomes, for you to do a bit of analysis and interpretation. Yes. So I suppose I have taken enough of your guys' time, because I also need to get myself a decent hibernation with the duration it needs. Let's say no less than 7 hours, but still no longer than, let's say, 9 hours. Well, so thanks again for watching and listening. I shall give you guys constant updates on my journey to overcoming challenges, to overcoming intrusive thoughts, depression, and social anxiety and stuttering. So tell me what you guys think of, tell me what you guys, tell me what you guys think of the adequacy of my methods and effort I'm trying to put in when it comes to overcome stuttering, social anxiety, and intrusive thoughts, so on and so forth. So stay tuned, stay blessed, stay faithful. I shall see you on the next video on YouTube. Cheers.